welcome to the Past Play Gaming Christmas episode. This is usually a reflection on every video game ever. My name is Matthew.
And I'm Ben.
And today, Ben, we are not really doing what we're normally doing. We're doing a special, and by special I mean a schedule filler.
Yeah, we had an actual game planned. I ran out of time. I've been kind of busy.
I'm pretty sure we told you about it on the last recording.
So that one is now going to be our actual Christmas one, which kind of makes more sense, I guess. This is going to be our year in review, I guess.
Our start of December year in review of games. You know, games from this year, games we've been playing, what have we been up to. So this is more an episode about us than it is about games, which I'm sure some people might care about us a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, this is us playing games, though. So, like, you come to us for our opinions on games or something like that. So here's some opinions on games, yeah. So how are we going to structure this?
Well, I've got 3 segments lined up. Now, there was going to be a questions section from the viewers if they wanted to ask questions. We weren't sure how many questions we were going to get, but we also, because this was a last minute switcheroo. Yeah, because it was a last minute switcheroo, we might do questions as a end of the year, actually the end of the year thing. We'll see what we're doing. But apart from, with that removed, we're going to have we've both come up with a top 3 list, and by both of us, I mean, you came up with one about 2 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
And
Maybe.
and a top 3 list of games that came out this year. And then we're going to talk a little bit about other stuff that we've been playing this year. And then we'll wrap it up with games that we're looking forward to in 2021.
And,
so,
there's only one more game coming this year, but
there's one good game coming this year. Well, Immortals Phoenix Rising.
It's out now, isn't it?
Formerly known as Gods and Monsters, came out today. Apparently.
Yeah, I might play that.
So, yeah, that's something. But so it won't be, and nothing will be about that. So that dates this recording. It was Thursday. So that came out. We won't be talking about that, and we won't be talking about Cyberpunk because they haven't come out yet. But apart from that, whole year in review basically of games and stuff. And there we go. So, Ben, do you want to start first with do you have them in order? Do you have a top 3 in order?
You mean as in what's my favorite?
Have you numbered them 1 to 3?
Oh, absolutely not. Here's what I have. I have a notes tab on my phone that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 games listed, of which one of them isn't really. I don't know if I count it as a game. One of them I played for a couple of hours. One of them I played, for another couple of hours. Look, here's the thing. I played about 3 of these games. Maybe.
Okay.
Well, this was a pretty quiet year.
You do have 3, right? Do you have a 3 for a top 3 of this year, games that came out this year?
You know what? I can scrounge something up. Yep, sure. Yep.
Okay, well, I'll go first while you do that.
That makes sense.
My number 1 is not going to surprise anyone.
Yeah,
and
no.
That's because
I already know
my
what's
number
going
1 is The Last of Us 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, you haven't played The Last of Us 2. So,
I haven't played The Last of Us 1.
In fact, finished The Last of Us 1.
Yep. I know what happens, though, so...
This is pretty much the best game. For me, it's probably the best story game that's ever come out, almost pretty much objectively. In terms of, normally there's a trade-off between length and quality, or depth, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can
have a long game, but it's very shallow, or you can have a jam-packed 3-hour game.
Most of these games, Naughty Dog's past, Uncharted's the obvious one. You've got about 10 hours these sort of games go for. You can get them at a good quality the whole way through. This thing goes 25, 26 hours. It's got, millions of... Not millions. It's got heaps of, heaps of encounters upon each other.
Millions of encounters.
Yeah, everything's very well, millions of encounters. Everything's very well, there's depth to everything that's done. There's no sort of filler areas or there's filler arcs, but everything's,
it's there.
Of high quality the whole way through.
It also has the greater sort of narrative in a sense. A game like Assassin's Creed might have a side. I mean, I'm just I'm just
there's
guessing
no climbing
here.
towers.
Yeah, I was
going to
say,
jump off
yeah.
them into a
Games like
page.
Assassin's Creed have a bunch of like busy work, like synchronize, or you got a side mission here which has no bearing on the plot or anything at all. It's like, so what I've gathered from The Last of Us is like it's linear, everything makes sense, you do whatever, but it all serves the plot.
Yeah, everything serves the plot, and everything is like super well done, and they thought about it. It's sort of like Red Dead, I guess, the way in terms of the amount of detail they put in it is like up to that Rockstar Red Dead 2 level.
When did Red Dead come out? 2018. That's a shame.
Yeah, everything fits in together. So there is one sort of that's technically not linear section, but it's sort of everything in that, all the encounters in that are also everything's scripted, there's no like areas that you go where they don't have anything to say. You're always talking to your friend that's with you or whatever, and like it's all. So I mean, I think it's probably the greatest achievement in terms of like quality of end length, as I've said at the start.
Yeah.
So that's my number one.
I think.
So do you have a list now? Sorry, you can keep talking.
I was going to say, I think that's a very controversial opinion, given. See, that's the thing. Yeah,
it was way more hated than I thought.
I don't know if it's like a controversial opinion, or if everyone just got up in arms about like nothing. How much are we going to?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk too much about.
I was going to say, this is going to be.
This is not really a spoiler show.
This is different, to our regular thing. We're not really doing. Your game walkthrough discussions. We're not doing spoilers. I don't think we're even giving reviews because I can't think about 10 different
apart from the fact that this is
rating systems.
This is my number one game of the year.
So you talk about The Last of Us a fair bit and always laud it as like the one of the, if not the best game you ever played. And it really makes me think, hey, I should probably actually play these games. And I'll get around to them.
It's not my favorite game that I've ever played, but it's close, and I think it's objectively it's better than all the other games that I like more. There's gonna be a plug. I'm gonna be playing one of my at time of recording, I'm going to be playing one of my favorite games that I don't think people actually like that much.
Oh, I saw you
on Twitch.
Oh, is this? Did I see you active an hour ago?
You would have already seen me play it. Yeah. You would have already seen me play it, listeners. So yeah, I played some Quantum Break on Friday.
I don't mind Quantum Break. I don't mind it.
That's like my favorite actual game ever, but it's not the best game ever, and I know it's not the best game ever, but it is my favorite for reasons.
This isn't the Quantum Break show, but I appreciate I appreciate what it did, like the whole player section, get a video, like a live action video sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was just way off topic, but
what's new though?
You can the VOD for that will probably be on the YouTube channel by the time this comes out. So if you haven't seen it and didn't know that we had a Twitch, we do now have a Twitch that we might stream on sometimes. So I'll get that plug out of the way while I'm here.
There we go.
All right. Do you have a number one?
Twitch.tv.
Oh yeah. Twitch.tv/PassByGaming.
Yeah. Do I have a number one? Absolutely not.
That's why I went first. So I could choose number one.
I don't have these listed in like sequential game I like the most order. You know what game I'll pick? Let's go with Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal came out this year. You haven't played the Doom games?
Yep.
You haven't played Doom 1?
I started the first one. I started the original Doom reboot, but I don't know. It's a little bit too much just like
it is a lot. Like Doom Eternal, sequel to Doom 2016, which in itself is a reboot, or like a soft reboot of the original Doom trilogy, I think. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Doom Eternal is just like... the game never stops. It's 100% the whole time. The game never slows down. You are constantly jumping and running and shooting and like dodging, and it's just not even perhaps, it is the most action-packed game I've ever played in my life. It is a really,
Yeah,
it's just, you don't come to Doom looking for like substance, but it's just a fun turn your brain off sort of game.
Yeah, I think I might go back to it one day. I remember I've talked about this a few times, which is that like I have the games that I like, my favorite games, which are games that like you actually have to pay attention to, and then I have like my YouTube games where I will play them, but also listen to like a podcast.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that. Like
and
even on the mindless games, I
Doom
can't.
might be a podcast game because there's not much like dialogue and stuff that I have to worry
No,
about.
there's no. Doom Eternal, I feel, is more. There is more plot, but they kind of do this thing where they try and make Doom Guy, who is the the bloke you play as, they try and make him an actual person, and it's like I
mean, the fact that
don't
called
need
Doom
to
Guy,
see
like,
him. Yeah, I don't need to care about him. They call him the
perhaps the
Doom
most
Slayer or
objectifying
something,
name ever.
but yeah, it's like I don't need to give a shit about him. Like I just,
Yeah.
he can just be a person that kills demons. That's fine. I don't need backstory. I don't expect heart-wrenching emotional moments from a Doom game. It's unnecessary.
Yeah.
But yeah, is Doom my favorite game of the year? No. But it's a
But it's the one you've chosen to be your favourite game of the year.
but it's the first game I wrote down because it came out in like March, and it was the first one that like came to mind.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, it's all right. It's pretty good. Play it. I think it's on Game Pass.
Yeah, I think so.
Play it.
Pretty sure.
Get an Xbox and play
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So Doom is my first pick, not my number one pick. I don't know if I have a number one.
Yeah. Well, I've got... Okay, we've got... Yours is just a random picks. Mine are in order.
Yes, absolutely.
So, are you ready to move on to my next pick?
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. All right. Well, my number 2 is a game that you also haven't played.
Mm-hmm.
But you were going to play it this year, but we didn't end up doing that. Resident Evil 3
okay.
Remake.
Yep.
Now, I don't think Resident Evil 3 Remake is as good as Resident Evil 2 Remake, but it's still like
Isn't it really short?
really good.
Like
It's
5 hours short or
It's
something?
much shorter. The problem is that Resident Evil 2 Remake is 2 games at once, so you can play it. You have to play it twice to get the full story.
Mm-hmm.
Resident Evil 3 is slightly shorter than just one run of Resident Evil 2, so it feels way shorter.
Yeah.
But I think it's still the same sort of stuff. The quality's still there in terms of the story, and like Resi sort of, I don't know. Resi's a franchise that sort of builds it. It's a very strong lore-based sort of franchise with the whole universe of the Resident Evil stuff, and I think that Resident Evil 3 is a good achievement because it can get newer people into that. I mean, we played the original and we reviewed it on the podcast. Go check that out. But I would really love it for them to remaster that especially because
It's ugly.
one, it would be really good.
It's ugly. It plays like crap.
Yeah. The remake it, but also because then you can get other people that want to jump in. Now, and I guess Resi 7 also is a good jumping in point for new players of Resident Evil, but there's this whole history of all these characters that you sort of miss out on.
That's the thing. My biggest issue with the Resident Evil games is like, well, I personally don't want to jump in at like 7 or something, and then you can't. They need to just completely rework their games so they have like a consistent, like there's an actual proper version of the game on newer platforms. You got 1, 2, 3. There's rumors of a 4. 5 is like backwards compatible, as is 6, and then you got 7. So it's like,
and you got 8 coming.
Yeah. So
I'm willing to predict that this time next year, Resident Evil 8 will be on my list of games.
probably, yeah.
Actually, I need to add it to my list for 2021. But let's just pretend that I added it.
Sure.
Resident Evil 8.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. We won't talk about it again.
What was I going to say? Yeah. I mean, if is it scarier than 2?
I'm gonna say no because the Nemesis doesn't chase you as much as Mr. X.
Thank God. Okay. Well, maybe I'm
when he
inclined
does
to play
chase you, it's very much like scripted. There's way less sections where it's very free flowy and they're all linked to each other and sort of you're going back and forth and you're getting followed around. It's a lot more linear in that way.
Okay. And I
you
think
sort of go to a place. There's maybe a couple of paths, and then you go somewhere else.
I think that's kind of like the start of because Resident Evil 4 is more of a shooter, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
5 is a complete shooter, or maybe 6, one or both of them.
6 is crazy. 6 is like trying to be Doom.
Yeah, and then 7 is like a complete revamp. Like, hey, we're first
It's
person
back
now,
to
baby.
the old style.
Yeah,
And first person, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, we were going to play it because we played 1, we played 2, and then we were like, all right, let's play 3.
Yeah, we played both playthroughs of 2. I
just
bought
didn't.
and installed every game.
I own 3 as well.
Come out.
Like, yeah. I don't know why.
I bought all 7, including 0. I think we were technically up to 0 chronologically, and we're like, no.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. I do not want to play another crappy
tank one. I don't
tank
even know if you
controls
can
game.
do not tank controls in 0 either. You have to.
Yeah,
do
if
tank
that's the
controls.
case, no thanks. But yeah, okay. So that's your
That's my second one. It's my number 2 of the year. You haven't played it. I guarantee that you've played number 3. I know that you've played my number 3. But let's move on to your
am curious as to what came out this year. I'm just going to try and think about what your number 3 could be.
It's a complete switch from the other 2. It's covering a different base.
Speaking of complete switches, Animal Crossing is my second game.
Having a switch. That's something I haven't played. At least, look, the good thing is we're not getting crossover here. That's the key.
Yeah. Animal Crossing. It's dumb. It's so dumb, but it's a really fun game to just. Now that I think about it, both Doom and this have a lot of sense. Do you remember when they were coming out like on the same day, and there were all those crossover memes?
I actually don't, but did they come out on the same day?
I think they both came out on March 20th. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, okay.
So anyway, yeah. Got them both. Pretty sure I played Animal Crossing before Doom, actually. It's great in that it's like, it's kind of a live service game, kind of. Like, it receives seasonal updates. It just became December, right? So they've done, like, I'm literally right now looking at my Animal Crossing screen on the TV. So they've got Christmas decorations up and such. It's a lot of fun. But it is, it's a game that you need patience for. Like, a lot of it just takes time. You know, you got to make your trees grow. You got to, like, if you sell stuff, like, or stock will restock overnight and such. So you have to wait in-game days for things real life days for things to happen in-game, which absolutely would turn people off, I feel. You can't just like speed run this game because there's no end game to this. Well, the whole game is end game technically, but there's no ending to this game, right? So yeah, I don't know if everyone knows what Animal Crossing is. You'll either love it or you'll hate it. Personally,
keep going.
I think it's just it's fun to just gradually build something up. I guess it's in a similar vein. I don't like Sims, but it's absolutely in a similar vein to something like The Sims. Just that sort of like building your own sort of place, populating it with this and that, you know, making it your own thing, decorating it however, you know, expressing yourself, and the villages. The thing is, because you can have up to 8 villages on the island as well, and there's like a list of 400 or something total villages that you can like get like them picked from. So, and they all have different personalities and such. So it's just fun. It's just variety, and you can make things however you want. So that's my Animal Crossing rant. There you go.
Yeah. Well, what I'll say about Animal Crossing is I have never played it or like any other Animal Crossing, but it's to me, from what you just sort of said, it's sort of it has the framework of like a mobile game in terms of where you have to wait those, like you have to wait all the time and stuff, but it's not as predatory. It's not predatory in transactions.
There's no microtransactions at all, which is fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. It's not as predatory, and it's sort of has more depth to it. And on the other comparison I was going to make is it's sort of like a game like Minecraft, where you just sort of hang around and sort of do your own stuff and build up your sort of home.
Oh, someone's coming to my island
It's
now.
different in the way that you don't have as much freedom as in Minecraft to just build anything, but like you can
it's
create your own little world.
I think there is a mobile game version of it, like a Pocket Camp or something they call it. And I don't know how it works. Maybe it is more microtransactions-y based. But this one has nothing like that. From what I have experienced of the community of this game, it's good too. Because I think everyone's there for the same, like I've never experienced any griefing in this game.
Is it even possible? I mean, I guess someone could visit your island.
So,
I don't know
that's the thing. So you can open up your island, and then they have websites where like you can post your island code, and then you might say, "Oh, my island's open. I'm selling this item for this currency or whatever." And then people come to your island and buy it, or they might like leave you gifts or something, or if you want to give gifts away, like a garage sale or something. So it's like a lot of swapping and selling sort of stuff, which is, if you're looking for a specific item, you'd be like, oh, I wonder if anyone has this. And you'd look online and see if, oh, they have this, they want X amount of money for it. Okay, I'll go over there, I'll get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really good.
Capitalism at work.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. I've played it with a few friends. It's really nice. It's just pleasant. I guess pleasant is the word I would use to describe this game. Of all the games we've recorded, like discussed this year on the podcast, of all the games I've played this year, this is the most just quiet game, I guess. It's very quiet and yeah, nice. So that's,
It's a very Nintendo thing to
Oh,
me.
yeah. Nintendo's games are all the same. They're all targeted at, like, kids, adults. Like,
They're targeted at everyone.
Yeah. Nintendo doesn't do shooters or anything. Yeah. Nintendo's just fun for the family. All their games are just, you can play it with people. You can play it by yourself. Like, Nintendo can never ever compete with something like the Xbox or the PlayStation, but they found their niche, and that's all they need to do. So, and it works for them. So, there you go. That's Animal Crossing.
It's time for number 3 for me. And this is a game that I know you played because it's, I've played it with you, and it's knocked off a game that has held the spot for a long time, which is my favourite multiplayer game to play with friends, and that is Rogue Company.
Okay. Wait, is this Battle and Siege for you now? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, right now I believe this is my favourite game to play with friends over Siege. I still love Siege, but Siege has held that spot for 5 years since it came
we'll
out.
probably touch on Siege,
Yeah, we'll talk about Siege in the next section. But
Rogue Company
Siege
was
has held that
actually
spot.
on my list of 8 games I pulled that came out this year because I couldn't think of anything else. Yeah, so go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We can both talk about this one, kind of, but yeah.
Yeah, we can both talk about this one. I'll start. But so Siege, as I said, Rainbow Six Siege has been my go-to, multiplayer game. And that's because I don't necessarily like the run and gunning, twitch shooting, COD style gameplay.
Yeah.
I want tactical,
Slow.
team-based, utility-based, slower multiplayer games. And that was what Siege was. And but because the way now Rogue Company's come out, I mean, I'm not saying it's like better than Siege or blah blah blah, but it's the first game that I've actively wanted to play more than Siege in terms of multiplayer.
Yeah.
Now we'll get into this a bit later, but we play a lot of different multiplayer games because no one can ever agree what they want to play, but in our gaming group. But if I had my choice, Siege would always be my number 1, and that's changed since I started playing Rogue Company, and that's the first time that's happened. So, I mean, if you don't know about Rogue Company, it's made by Hi-Rez Studios, who did Smite and Paladins and all these games, but it's a 4-person, 4v4, squad-based, third-person shooter. I think I said third-person already. And yeah, it's very tactical and utility based gameplay, basically, especially in the main sort of bomb type mode that you
I
get,
think
like search and destroy, I guess, for COD. But
this
yeah,
really,
go on,
this
you
game,
start talking.
this game really should be more popular. I like while you just talk there. I was like, actually, why I didn't interrupt at any point was because I'm on the Twitch app now, just trying to compare how many viewers Rogue Company has as opposed to like Siege. Naturally, Siege is more popular. It has, where was it? Like 11,000 viewers current. Yeah, 11.8 thousand viewers right now. Have a guess at how many Rogue Company has?
Or maybe 3.
607. Like,
Wow.
yeah. Which is...
Rogue Company blew up when it first came out, and I guess it's sort of fallen off, but...
That's the thing, and I think it's a real shame, because I don't know why. I can probably understand why someone wouldn't stick with it, right? It feels...
It's not a forgiving game to get into, and that's what I like about it. So
it's like, it feels... I don't even know how I'd describe it. It kind of feels a bit hollow, but I suppose it is only just coming out of beta, or it's still in beta?
Well, Ranked is still in beta, and I think Ranked is
well, to be fair, Siege's Ranked has been... Is
this
Siege's Rank out of beta yet? It was in beta for like 3 years.
Yeah, Siege's Rank's been out of beta for like 3 years, bro. Like, but it was in beta for like 2 years, but still.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean... Rogue Company it's enjoyable, so... It's like third-person Overwatch, I would
basically,
say.
Yeah. 4v4.
You've got
that's what it is.
X amount of characters, all with their own abilities. You choose your character. You've got your different game modes. So the strikeout one, which is like you have a set amount of lives. You got the bomb one with 2 different plant spots, which goes to 7 rounds, which is excessive, but it's pretty fun.
Nah, they're not that
it's
long,
pretty fun.
bro. The rounds are 2 minutes. It's fine.
And then you got the 5-round mode with 1 bomb, it's fine.
And then you've got sort of purchases in between. Does Overwatch have purchases? No, right?
No. So yeah, I'd say it's third-person Overwatch meets Counter-Strike. So between each round, you buy upgrades for your gun, upgrade like perks for your character. So say there might be a perk for avoid enemy detection from like scans and such, or reload your weapon every time you get it down automatically. So just different things to enhance. But yeah, so you kind of get rewarded with more money for playing better, as you'd expect. But yeah, I think this game is a lot of fun, and if you're looking, it's free too, mind you.
Yeah, it's free. That's key. And the thing I like about it is that the smart players win way more often than fluky. There's not much flukiness in Rogue Company at all.
No, we've had the matchmaking needs work. The matchmaking, we've had 7-0 sweeps, and we've had 0-7 sweeps. Like,
Yeah, true. Now, again, that might change with Ranked, but again, I've heard Ranked is also quite flawed in the way that matchmaking is done, in terms of like it's you naturally just go up just by playing more games rather than it ranking you in a skill setting. Like, you get way more points for a win than you do lose for a loss. So everyone over time should go up. If everyone 50-50s, everyone will end up at 30. You know what I mean? Like, if everyone in the game 50-50s, everyone will end up at 30 eventually.
Do you know if it gets to a point where eventually it gets like harder to accumulate points?
As far as I know, no. It's flat the whole time.
I know Destiny's competitive mode is like, it's very forgiving in the lower levels of comp, but as you get to the higher ranks, like, wins will give you less than a loss will take, and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But you can also...
Yeah. Well, that's a more logical system to me, but right now I believe it's just flat the whole way through, which, again, it's beta, so hopefully they will fix that.
Yeah. This game is a lot of fun. Is it my favorite multiplayer game? Arguably right now, yes. I do still enjoy Smite. Siege, I'm iffy on. I go back and forth on Siege. But yeah, in terms of favorite games to play with a group, Rogue Company's probably up there right now. It's a lot of fun. It's free. I really suggest you give it a try. I mean, Christ, what do you have to lose? Except the match, I guess. But yeah, and time. Yeah. You got a couple of things to lose, but it's fine. Yeah, good game. It does have like a season passy sort of thing. So you get 5, what do they call them? Operators? Heroes? What do they call them in this?
Rogues, yeah. You can get all the rogues if you pay. But
they give you 5 to start with
the
or
base
something.
rogues are good enough as well.
Oh, yeah. So, and then, so it is a free game, but you got to pay money to unlock all the heroes, or you just play a lot. Like a lot. Like a lot. As, I still haven't bought the thing. Because you eventually just find a niche.
Bought the one person you wanted.
You find a niche with a character you like, and then you just main them forever and never change ever. And there you go. That's Rogue Company.
Yep. All right, it's time for your number 3.
Can we have an honorable mentions section?
I guess. Well, you can put them in the games that you've played this year, or unless they're not games you played this year.
No, they are. Yeah, they are.
If they all are, then they can be that can be your honorable mentions. Sure. Or we can do them very briefly at the end with no comment, because we are running pretty long for what I thought this segment was going to be.
It's fine. We're fine for time. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this isn't going to be a 2.5 hour bloody episode like all their other ones.
Well, give it time. It's been half an hour now.
Yeah. Okay, game number 3. Here's the thing, right? I looked through my games and apps on the Xbox and tried to find games that, I played for the first time this year, which was already a small pool, mind you, because I played one game this year. And then I had to narrow that down to games that came out this year. And I came out with 8 games total, one of which was a DLC. So I guess the only thing I have left that I can talk about is Battletoads. Battletoads came out this year.
Okay. That's fine. You don't have to play it,
you
but
didn't see
I
this
guess you probably do have to play it to say
Battletoads came out this year.
Okay. I mean, I've seen some...
Yeah.
Have I seen new Battles? I've seen some old Battletoads. I can't remember. But I've never played it. So tell us all about it.
It's, so... I don't even know where to begin. It's on Game Pass. There you go. That's my lead-in. Play it if... It's fine. It's a beat-em-up arcade game. The difficulty is... It's rough. I think Battletoads is notoriously known for its difficulty. This game is a lot easier than... Because I played, the original Battletoads on the Rare Replay collection. I don't know if you ever got that, but there's a lot of, solid games on that.
I didn't.
It's fine.
I sort of...
good.
I've thought about playing, Banjo-Kazooie, occasionally, but I never actually did it.
Yeah. I mean, Rare's released a bunch of good ones. Sea of Thieves comes to mind. Banjo-Kazooie. Cameo. Did they do Conker? I think they did Conker as well.
Don't look at me.
As in Conker's Bad Fur Day. You know Conker.
I don't, but I feel I know more about it now that I didn't think it was
He's the squirrel bloke. I think they did GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, Viva Pinata, bro. I know you played that.
Let's go.
Yeah. So yeah. I should probably have looked up if they actually did this Battletoads. Either way, Microsoft had a hand in it. So yeah, beat 'em up arcade sort of game. Story, flimsy as hell, doesn't matter, whatever. The basic premise is the Battletoads have been locked in a simulation since 1991 when the first Battletoads came out. So they're kind of man, we can't make a proper game out of this, so let's change everything about Battletoads. And they just made it a super meta game. It's really meta. There's a lot of references to this and that, and it's a funny game too. I think you might enjoy it, maybe.
I'm usually down for meta things. I'm not as down for like just side-scrolling.
You can beat this game in 5 hours easily.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's not all side-scrolling stuff too. They throw a lot of variety in at you. So you've got like sections where it's like, I guess it's still side-scrolling, but you're sort of like, you know that game, that Flash game, Lion Runner, was it? The one where the bloke on the ski and you had to draw his path?
You draw a path. And
kind of like that, except you don't draw the path. But there's...
yeah.
Yeah, so that sort of stuff. You've got like... God, what are the ones that have? You play scissors, paper, rock in one section. Like, it's a lot of meta just crap. This game is so out there. It's probably one of the more fun games I played this year. Not in terms of like, it was a fantastic game. It's good, but you know there are better games. But it's still a very enjoyable game to play. As you can see, I am absolutely scraping the bottom of the barrel here because I played no games this year.
Well, you've made it sound like it was pretty good.
It's good. Give it a crack. It's on Game Pass. I think it's an Xbox exclusive. Xbox and PC, mind you. So
having said that, do you have honorable mentions that came out this year, or are you going to talk about them in the next section?
Do you have any that came out this year?
Not really. I want to make mention of our current like intelligence level when we predicted that Avengers would actually be good. That's a game.
Do you want to delete that file, that video, that audio?
Yeah, that episode's probably. I'll delete that. No. Yeah.
Aged like milk.
Yeah, it was pretty. It 96% of players gone. Now
I
stand by that the story's good. The problem is that it's not intended to be.
It's not trying to be. Just failed. If you play this as just a story game, I'll stand by that. If you play this as just a story game, it's fantastic.
As soon as the story's over, it falls off a cliff, and there's just not enough to do. There's not enough sort of depth to the. I mean, the progression of the characters is decent, but there's not enough. There's just not enough variety in mission or like any sort of tactical strategy between just mindless beating people up.
No, and we compared Avengers to like what Destiny was trying to do, which I'll mention in my honorable mention section.
Yeah, everyone knows that you play Destiny constantly. Everyone knows. It's come up multiple times.
Guilty as charged.
We got to keep that Avengers episode up because half of it was talking about why Destiny's good.
That's really all. Yeah. I'll be honest, that's the main reason I played no games this year. But yeah, Avengers, good story. I'll still stand by the fact that it's a good story game. There's just like the end game is hollow as crap. They don't. I mean, I think they might have released their Kate Bishop DLC, but I don't think so.
And that's the other thing was that it was when we talked about it. It was September right then, and it was supposed to come out in October, and it's now December, and it still hasn't come out.
I mean, you can blame it on COVID. Every other game company's done that.
No, you can't blame it on COVID because the game came out in September, and they told us in September when COVID was already happening.
To be fair, Cyberpunk
that was going to be in October.
Cyberpunk delayed like a couple of weeks before launch because of COVID or something. I don't bloody know.
Yeah, I know, but Avengers was delayed as well. But when you release the game and you say, we're going to release something in a month, and it's been 3 months and it hasn't happened yet, that's not COVID's fault. That's your fault.
Yeah.
Not that much change during the month of September.
It's a shame.
That would have done this. It is a shame. So, I mean, again, if you cut like, I don't know how, I mean, you can cut a little bit off the price and say, and just have the story. It's a fine game.
I was in
It's maybe a bit excessive in terms of you have to play as 6 different people. Like in a story game, it would have been a waste of resources, but it turned out to be a waste of resources anyway because no one else wants to play any further.
I was in EB Games up here on the weekend. 50% off Avengers. I don't know if that was partly due to Black Friday.
I've seen that advertised on Facebook.
I'd imagine it was partly due to Black Friday, but also 50% off. Oof, not good. Your game came out this year. You're already getting it 50% off. That's a shame.
Came out 3 months ago. It's Well, that's the only other game I was thinking of that came out this year.
Yeah, here's my other list of honorable mentions.
I guess. I mean, actually, I haven't played that, so I can't talk about it.
Hey.
No, keep going.
Okay. Honorable mentions. Watchdogs Legion. I played a couple of hours of that. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that was what I was about to say.
But it's like
But I haven't played.
I played a bit, and the only reason I haven't played more is because I'm not even going to say it. Watchdogs Legion came out early November. Something else also came out early November, and that's all I'll say about that.
We'll be talking about that later, I'm sure.
Oh, we will. Battletoads. No, I already said that. Call of Duty Cold War. Call of Duty Black Ops. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Also known as Call of Duty Black Ops 5. Also known as Call of Duty 16 or something now. I don't bloody know.
I gotta be honest, I missed everything you just said, but because I turned off our means of communication with each other because we're not recording this in the same room. But you were talking about Call of Duty Cold War, so
yeah,
I'll let you.
Look, I'll let you listen to that when you review the audio. That's fine.
Yeah. So was that point finished? Sorry.
Yeah, I just kind of did a bit or something. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't matter.
Good job.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man.
Sick bit.
Played a bit of zombies with my brother. It's zombies. Yeah, that's all I'll say about that. It's the same game you've been playing for. You're gonna have to cut
zombies.
that, but it's the same game you've been playing.
You've already sworn this episode. It's fine.
It's late.
I love zombies until you've opened the whole map, and then it sucks.
We got up to
when there's new
wave
stuff
30,
to discover,
and it's
I'm fine.
At that point, it's just you're just doing the same thing. You're just training the zombies, and it's just.
When it becomes prohibitively... I don't like training. I hate training.
It doesn't become a challenge. It just becomes a slog.
That you can't kill the zombies with full clips of weapons and stuff. It's why? It's not
hard. I mean, it is hard, but not it's artificially hard, I guess. They're just
I think zombies is one of the easiest games to make because it's just an algorithm. You don't have to do anything tactical to try and beat them.
When
it's just
hit wave 10, increase
you send this many zombies and they have this much health.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, it's annoying, but whatever. That's Cold War. What else did I have on this list?
Another game I haven't played. We really don't have that much crossover, do we?
Nope.
The stuff that we play.
Nope. I mean, I've played again. My list is 8 games. And 3 of these.
I didn't make. I made
one,
a few.
2, 3 of these are games that I only tossed in because I couldn't come up with anything else. And one of them is a DLC.
Have you still got other games for this list of the games that you played this year?
I have one, which you're gonna be like.
This technically isn't this segment. This is still the top 3 segment.
No one has a top 3
Well, it's fine.
left.
You've already started, so apparently you started the new segment. I was going to put a little mini intermission break in here.
All right,
but that's fine.
Here, I'm going to give you the audio for. This is the audio that you will use. You can, be meta with this. Do whatever you want. Wow, that was a good top 3 section. Let's have a break, and then we're going to come back and do our other games that came out this year / honorable mentions. See you then. All right, we've just
I'm probably just going to delete that, because then I have to make everything make sense.
Just leave
I'll leave it there. I'll probably leave it, but I won't move it anywhere. It'll stay right there.
And we're back with our honourable mentions section. And games again.
Well, you see, the thing is, I did mention this when we started. When I said you have honourable mentions, I said
doesn't matter.
that aren't going to be part of the next section.
Should be right.
Anyway,
should be right. Last game.
Got one more.
Last game on my list here, which you're going to roll your eyes at, probably just blatant disgust.
It's a Destiny DLC. Watch out.
No, it's not.
No,
it's not.
Oh.
What?
But that is on your list,
I would be shocked that you could even begin.
Well, you told me there was a DLC on your list.
Yes, that's the DLC. Games. Yes. Anyway, my other game this year, Tetris Effect.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's It's actually pretty good.
It's as good as Tetris can be. And what can you do with Tetris?
Oh my god, you got no idea, right? Like,
I feel like Tetris peaked when it came
Tetris
out.
peaked when it came out.
First time.
They haven't changed anything. Oh no, you're forgetting about Tetris 99. I think you'll find.
That's still that's just playing. That's just everyone,
Tetris
100
Battle
people playing
Royale,
a game of Tetris at the same time.
Baby.
That's just it. That's all that is. It's not. It didn't change Tetris. It's just you just play Tetris
because now
with
you
other
can
people
like
at the same
send
time
extra
and
lines
see
to
who lasts the
people.
longest.
Aha. Anyway, Tetris Effect. This game has some of the most jamming music in a game, other than maybe Rocket League. Rocket League has some bangers.
Yeah.
Tetris Effect is like... I know it sounds like a bit, but this game is actually really enjoyable. like...
Oh, I get that's enjoyable.
It's more an experience, I suppose, because as you play, there's separate levels, but as you like complete lines in these levels, you have a target amount of lines you have to clear in a level, like something like 60 or something per level. And as you get like around the halfway point, the music kind of kicks up, and then the vibration in the controller like kind of kicks up. And they say, oh, be sure to play this with your headphones on. And it is like, it's a pretty good experience. It's like, there's lights flashing. Don't play it if you're like, gonna have a seizure or something, please. But yeah, it's on Game Pass as well. It's on Game Pass. Just give it a crack. If you have like just a basic interest in Tetris, give this game a crack. It's pretty good.
I honestly think, speaking of Game Pass, I honestly think that within 10 years, Xbox will just be Game Pass. Like,
I think that's what they're actually...
You won't have
I think
to
that's
buy
what they
a
said
game.
they were going to try and do.
You'll just subscribe to Xbox
I think that's,
and you'll have every game.
I think that's They said, like... I think they're trying to do a thing where you don't even have to buy a console. You can just buy a subscription to, like, play games or something on your TV through an app or something.
I think...
I don't know.
They said it last generation, but I think this generation will be the last generation of, like, disc consoles.
Oh, yeah. No,
they went halfway this generation.
If you're still buying discs, first of all, get out of here. Who buys discs? Just buy digitally. But yeah. Yeah, so Tetris. That's my...
I actually have one
Yeah.
game that came out this year that I played before I moved to things that I didn't play this year. And that is Crash Bandicoot 4.
Oh, yeah.
I played almost all of it. I had, for most of the game, I had 99 lives. And then I lost them all in Act 5, and now I'm at the point where I have to restart the level all the time.
Yeah.
I'm at 0. And there's the option for the modern or retro mode, where the modern mode is if you keep your checkpoint forever until you finish the level.
Okay.
And obviously retro mode is when you run out of your 5 lives, you're down forever. I chose retro mode, and I was pretty confident because I was,
that was
because I played the full Insane trilogy, and I had 99 lives most of the time, and now I have 4, and I don't think I'll ever finish the game.
Can
the
you,
level I'm up to is
can
crazy
you not
hard.
swap? Like...
Maybe. I don't really want to either. Like,
I know.
Anyway, it's great. It's good. I don't know why I didn't buy it. It's better than the other 3 in terms of there's way more stuff.
Yeah.
It's harder than the other 3, definitely, as well. But because there's way more stuff, there's there's these masks that you get, and you've got like one that like basically changes you between dimensions, where like there'll be platforms in one dimension and platforms in the other dimension, and etc. There's one guy that just you turn to a spinning top and you have to like super fly, float jump. There's what else is there? There's like a slowing time one. I think there's another one, but I can't remember what it is. Anyway, Crash Bandicoot 4, good game.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't get it. Because I played the Insane trilogy as well.
Came out at the end of September. Actually, I didn't get it until like a couple of weeks ago. But it came out at the end of September, I believe.
Yeah,
we were talking about it.
What?
Oh no, at the end of October, because we were talking about it when we did our Avengers episode.
Okay.
Like a month.
Oh yeah, okay.
A month after Avengers. Well, that's all the games that I've played this year. I'll get through some of my... Well, not played this year. They came out this year. I'll get through some of the ones that I played, because I know you've only got one left, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the Destiny DLC. We talked about Rainbow Six Siege. I played that. Probably... We float in and out of that. It's the thing. Like, I don't play multiplayer games much on my own. So
the thing about
I am
Siege
very much
is
beholden
like
to who's around.
we play it non-stop for a couple of weeks, and then we don't touch it for a couple of months. Like
Smite, which we also did briefly touch on, which if you don't know what Smite is, it's also by Hi-Res, same as Rogue Company, but it's basically League of Legends, but third-person perspective in terms of it's a MOBA, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think
Everything comes with that.
Yeah, Smite and Siege are really our most consistent multiplayer games.
Yes.
Our
We played them
longest
both for
running.
6 years straight.
Yeah,
I think they both came out about the same time.
Siege 2015, Smite. I think Smite came out 2014 or was in beta
We didn't play
around then or
straight away.
something.
Well, we started playing it when it came out on console.
Yes, I knew about it when it was on PC because I'd seen like people online play it, and then it came to console, and we're like, bingo, let's go.
Let's give it a go.
So don't play Smite. I'm not going to recommend that game to anyone. Don't play it.
Oh, it's pretty toxic in Smite.
so toxic.
It's a pretty toxic community. If you go into Conquest and you don't know what you're doing, and even if you do know what you're doing, people just hate you for no reason. If anything happens, they hate you.
That game is it's a toxic cesspool.
They either hate you because you're too good, or you're too bad, or you were too slow, or you're too fast, or you're too.
Yeah, there's really no
this.
winning that game, eh?
There's no winning.
No.
Either you suck and you're feeding, or you stole all their kills, and therefore you're the reason they sucked.
It's just don't play Smite. It's fun, but unless you have like nerves of steel, don't play Smite.
Other things I played, I replayed all 3 Arkham games, the main trilogy, and then, as everyone knows, our next episode's Arkham Origins, so I also played that this year, but I didn't play it with sequence. I played the other 3 in sequence, like, all at once, and then I played Arkham Origins a couple of weeks ago for this. So you'll hear about that later.
Real quick, I'm gonna go to my Xbox, look at my game. I didn't know we were doing, like, games we played this year that didn't come out this year. I mean, I did kind of know.
Well, I did
kind of know. I know.
I'm pretty sure I
wasn't prepared.
That's okay. I've got one more, so I'm going to talk about it. Which I played this for like 3 weeks or a month, and then I just stopped. And that is Civilization 6.
Oh yeah.
You can get lost in that game. It's like it's. I still think it's one of the better like sort of epic time advancing type things.
I have an issue with those sorts of games, the real time strategies. I can't do them.
It's more turn-based, it's not real-time.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can't do turn-based either. I just don't like those sorts of games where it's like, you do something and then you're like, oh, okay, well, that's okay. I guess I'll...
Yeah, I do and don't. Like, I get really into them and then I get bored. Like, I went back a couple of years ago and played Medieval Total War again because that was the one that I had on PC, like when I was a kid. And I play it for a bit, but I never get to the end of a campaign or whatever. But Civ I did because it has there's sort of a point where it has to finish. It's not just infinite time. And that reminded me when we were talking about turn-based of one more while I assume you're still looking at things.
Yeah, I've got it now, but like, you're right.
Which is Gears Tactics came out this year.
Yeah,
and I played a bit of that.
Did I install it?
I think I played one act and a bit. Again, it's XCOM. It is just XCOM pretty much, but there's some clever things there. I think especially that they've done this Jack update, which lets you have Jack in your crew, and he does like cool stuff. Where you can play the full campaign with like the Jack sort of
Jack is the best Gears character apart from the Carmines.
Yeah, disagree. Carmines are the worst characters, but the Jack thing. I mean, it's basically Jack comes with you in every mission, and he has cool stuff like gives you cloak and gives you like all this stuff. And then in return, they get like super enemies. The locusts get super enemies. So I enjoyed it, but again, it's another one where I got burned out. I didn't get burned out on XCOM. I played XCOM 2 all the way to like the very end, and then I think, as I do with a lot of games, I was like, I'm about to finish this and then stop playing it forever. Because, I don't know, I couldn't commit to ending it.
I don't do that. I just play a game for a bit and I'm like, This game's really good. And then I never play it again.
75% through Mass Effect 3 after playing all 3 trilogies in a row, and then I stopped playing.
Yeah, from what I've heard, just don't finish it. Don't play Andromeda
I heard Mass
either.
Effect things are terrible at the end. The Citadel DLC is supposedly good, right? Anyway.
All right. Here's some other games I played this year, which didn't necessarily come out this year, but I played them. Enter the Gungeon. It's pretty good. It's like... How would you describe it? Do you know anything about this? I don't know how I'd describe it.
Isn't it a twin stick, or is it not?
Yes. Yeah.
It's a twin stick shooter,
right? Yeah.
You walk and you point?
Yeah, it's like you do your stuff, and then you see how far you can get through the Gungeon, and then you die, and then you do it all again. You try and just get further each time.
Is there like
its whole gimmick, right?
So
is
do you
that
get better, or do you just, you know what I mean?
See,
like,
no,
does your
I don't-
person get better?
I don't think so.
Or you just have to be better at the game?
You just eventually be better. It's not
Okay.
like, actually, there's another game. Where was it? There was another game I played. I don't know if I played it this year. Dead Cells. Yes, I did play it this year. Dead Cells is a fantastic game. Metroidvania sort of dungeon crawlery thing where, again, you try and get in as far as you can, but you die, and then you start at the beginning, but you will have unlocked stuff, like, and you know where you're going and such. So yeah, Enter the Gungeon's main gimmick is like there's a bajillion guns, kind of like Borderlands, except better than Borderlands because each gun has their own like unique sort of thing. Like you've got guns that shoot out balloons, you've got guns that shoot other guns, like, you know, it's a lot of fun. What else have we got? Deep Rock Galactic, we played a bit together.
Yeah, we played a bit of that.
It's not bad. It's fine.
It's not bad. It's just not. It's another one of those ones where you need someone else with you, and none of us can commit enough to play it. And because it's a sort of a one, it's one where you progress rather than one where like like Siege, where it's like match. And at least match, you can play it infrequently, and you make progress because you finish a game. Whereas this is like you're slowly grinding towards an objective that you feel like you're never going to reach because you don't play it enough.
Speaking of games that work almost identically, Overcooked 2. I played a bit of that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever yelled at a game more than I have playing Overcooked 2.
Yeah, there's something there. There's something innate about that game that like just gets everyone.
It's a lot of
hyped.
fun though. It is a lot of fun. Grounded. We played a bit of Grounded. Played one session.
Yeah, we
of
played it like a tiny bit when it was in Super Beta. Like,
it's not bad. It has potential. I feel like.
You gotta wait
Minecraft
till it's out of
Dungeons.
preview, I think, for
Minecraft
that one.
Dungeon actually did come out this year.
I played that with you once,
Yeah.
but you finished it, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't hate it, but it's
alright.
Yeah, it's just Diablo Minecraft, but not as good as Diablo.
Yeah.
What else have I got? I don't know if Ori and the Will of the Wisps came out this year.
I think it did at the start of the year.
If
I
it
played
did,
some of the first
might-
Ori, but I got stuck, and so I couldn't.
If
bring
it
myself
did,
to play
that
the second
might
one.
be one of my, if not my favorite game this year. That game is.
Are you telling me it's unseated Battletoads at third spot?
Yeah, shocker, I know. That game might be one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. When did it come out? Let's have a look. Details. Yep, 11th of March. I'm counting it. All right, yeah. Ori, The Will of the Wisps is probably my favorite game this year. It's beautiful. Story, good. Very emotional. Like just a nice game. Kind of difficult, but not like really. But yeah, just a really.
Wait,
really,
did you just say? Sorry, I was not paying attention. Did you just say Ori is not difficult?
It's not too bad. It's like a little.
Oh, I got destroyed on that first one. I don't think I made it very far. I did like a few areas, but like I don't think I was anywhere near finishing it.
I think eventually you get. It's
think
one
I
of those
also
games you get to the
played
point where
Hollow
you get
Knight this
super
year,
OP.
which is similar.
Oh, Hollow Knight is
the
very
same
similar.
thing.
I
went
played it on
similar
Switch.
distance. Like I did a few areas, and I was like, "Haha, no way! I'm not getting any further than that."
No, Ori and The Blind Forest, Ori the Will of the Wisps are some of the best games you'll ever play ever. What else have we got? Screw it. That's all I can think of, except
Okay.
Destiny.
Yeah, tell us all about this Destiny DLC.
New
What's going on in the
DLC.
world of Destiny?
Wow. I can't.
Should we start a weekly Destiny
You know what?
podcast of
Yeah,
what
we
you
could
did in
do
Destiny?
that. We could do that. I'd be happy with that.
But just I won't play it. I'll just
That's
ask
fine.
about what's
No,
happening in
that's
Destiny for the week.
fine. No, new DLC came out. New planet. They changed a lot of stuff about how the game works. But for the better. The game it's so much faster now. It's like they removed a couple of the planets. Like they just wiped them from the game. They're like, these are taking up too much space. No one plays on these anymore. Wiped them. Had an in-game reason for that. They're like, man, the darkness got to them. That's fine. I'm fine with that.
That could be the laziest reason I've ever
No,
heard.
but like, okay, so they had another live event, like just before the new DLC came out, where like, I don't know if you remember anything about Destiny. End of Destiny 2's main campaign, the Traveler like blew up, but it woke up.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
So in this live event, it healed itself because it was like, you son of a gun, darkness, I'm gonna fight you. Ooh, you bastard. Anyway, the darkness blew up. It took some planets or something. Anyway, you go to Ice Planet. You remember the Exo Stranger from Destiny 1? Played by Lauren Cohen of Walking Dead fame.
What? In Destiny 1?
She was, yeah. They changed her voice actor in this because she's expensive.
Who? What?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I was thinking of the dude with the tentacle face, but
Zer. Yeah, Zer.
No.
Zer, played by our good friend and guest star, Fred Tatasquar. Thanks for being here, Fred.
There was a chick played by Lauren Cohen in the first one?
Yeah. The first one had a lot of big names, really.
What did she do?
Not much, bro. But now she's done a lot. She was in the first game, like the original
But she's
campaign.
not played by Lauren Cohen anymore.
No.
Hence why she's done a lot.
Yeah, and then she disappeared for 6 years and now she's back. So,
Okay, well,
yeah.
look, I'll take your word for it. I did play a lot of Destiny.
New raid came out. Very, very good raid. Perhaps there's this section in it where you go to space and you have to kind of scale the outside of a spaceship. And it has perhaps the most beautiful orchestral piece I've ever heard in a video game ever. I don't know if we can sample it here, but
You'll have to tell me what it is, but I'll try.
Deepstone
not right now,
Lullaby.
but I mean, like,
Yeah.
off thing. You'll have to send me
Oh,
like,
that's
a thing
fine.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deepstone
You just said it,
Lullaby.
so it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
So perhaps the most beautiful piece I've heard in a video game ever. It's fantastic. The whole section is fantastic. I love this game so much, and it is no surprise that I played no other games this year because of it. And that's my 2020 year in review.
I just can't like play one game. I
I can't play any
like
game
this and
but
everything. I mean, I can't main one character in a game
Yeah,
either. Like
yes.
in multiplayer,
I mean,
I just switch around.
two absolutely different like approaches. Like I will Smite.
Yeah.
I've mained the same character for years. Siege, the same attacker, same defender for years. Rogue
Since
Company.
launch.
Yes, like Rogue Company, I'm now maining the same bloke with the same name as the Smite character. You know, these...
That's mostly because of that reason.
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
I mean,
it's
he's
a
still
bit-
good, but
yeah,
like,
anyway.
you were going to be someone else, but
yeah.
you like had to do it for the bit.
It was a good bit. Yeah, I will absolutely just lock myself into something and just, you know, go full bore at it. Whereas you will kind of...
I just flick around.
Yeah,
I get bored playing as one person in these multiplayer games and just playing one game all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not that many games. I mean, there's a lot, but like, you got to find that right one that like you never want
absolutely.
to stop. Like,
Yeah.
there's only a limited selection of games that you can theoretically
That's the
actually
thing.
play
Something
all
like
the time.
something like a story game How many times can you
Yeah.
play through the same story?
You can't play The Last of Us 2 forever.
Exactly. Yeah.
Doesn't matter how many times. Like, you can finish the campaign 3 or 4 times, and then it's like, you really can't play it again. It's like, not going to get anything out of it.
No. You know, something like, I suppose there's an appeal in things like the Forza games. You could main a Forza game, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, but as far as, I think live service games are really the play, which is a shame Avengers went the way it did. Anthem went the way it did. Anyone that tries this goes the same way. And I was talking to this with another friend, Brody, the other day.
Yeah.
It really shouldn't be this difficult to copy the Destiny formula, right? Like,
No.
it should not be this hard to make a game that works and continues to work. You know?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, you know, obviously you know more than... We talked about this in the Avengers one.
Yeah.
You know more than me about what makes Destiny work that other games don't have. But, yeah, I mean, obviously people don't want to, like, straight up copy it, but, like, I think there's something about the raids for me that, like...
It is, yeah, I mean, it's the
something
raids.
that hasn't been replicated.
Yeah.
They're just completely...
The raids are pinnacle Destiny. Like...
Yeah.
It's just...
completely unlike anything
like,
else.
When our friend group did the King's Fall raid together, that is the pinnacle of our teamwork. We have never worked better as a group than we did back in bloody 20...
Yeah. Did we finish that?
We did.
I guess we did.
We have never worked better than we did in 2015 or something. And we never will again.
No. The teamwork, the sort of... The way that they use... pretty generic first-person shooter mechanics.
Yeah, they're simple mechanics.
And
stand on plate,
them and
stand on
make
plate,
them
rotate
crazy.
plate, or, you know, pick up object, take object to X point. It's like, it's not that difficult, but it works because it's like everyone's on the same page. It's like, I think cooperation and forcing cooperation is kind of the key to these live events. Live service games. Something that Avengers didn't have. There was nothing that you had to work together. Anthem, you never played.
Beat people up in a different way.
Anthem, you never played, but it's like there's no mechanics in that game. It's just kill things. I can't think of any other. Warframe, I've heard, is decent.
Warframe's supposed to be good,
but I don't. It really shouldn't be this difficult. But who knows? I don't know if I have much else to... games coming out.
That's, Oh, we're about to do that, but... So now I'm going to do a sick bit, so get ready for that.
Oh, boy. Wow, that was a good top 3 section. Let's have a break, and then we're going to come back and do our other games that came out this year / honorable mentions. See you then!
Hey, it's the last segment
We're
time.
back.
That was a
What
great
time are we
intro.
We're actually running at an hour 10, which,
Yeah, we're running. We still got the next segment. So, considering I feel you're slightly underprepared for this in general, right? I feel like you should go. I've got 8 games on my list.
I have one.
One of them is Resi 8, which we talked about already, so we won't talk about it again.
Okay.
Do you want to pick some, and then I'll tell you the ones I have that you didn't say? Because I feel like that's going to work better.
All right, here's my top.
These games that are coming out next year that we're
Here's
excited
my top
about.
thing that comes out next year: Destiny 2, the Witch Queen DLC. There we go.
You know what? I didn't have that.
They got DLCs planned for the next 3 years, dude. So let's go. That's all. That's a bit. I guess the top game that's coming out that I know of or have looked into at all is Cyberpunk. Everyone's keen for Cyberpunk, but
yes, it's technically coming out this year.
It comes out,
but yes, on December 10th,
like
which is not very
a
long
week, less than a week.
Yeah,
bang on a week.
Week from
today.
Week from time of recording, less than a week from time of release.
Yep. Cyberpunk, I'm very
that's
excited
going to be a game
for.
that I'm probably going to play a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Did you just say another game?
No.
Did you say another game, or was that Cyberpunk again?
No, Cyberpunk.
Okay. Sorry, I was talking over you.
Yeah, Cyberpunk, I guess, is like... I guess it's my most anticipated game coming out shortly. But, I'm busy now a lot of the time, which is why, Christ, we didn't do Arkham.
Yeah.
B, it's like, it's gonna cut into my Destiny time. I don't know. But I'm on the Xbox store right now and looking at, like, the little video that plays when you preview a game. This game looks so good. I'm so excited for it. I should probably pre-order it.
Yeah, I am cautiously optimistic, but I'm remaining restrained because just because a game is massive and detailed doesn't mean I'm going to want to keep playing it to its conclusion. Red Dead 2, I got bored.
See, I thought Red Dead 2 was great.
I didn't get... it was just... I mentally was checked in for so long that I just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah,
so I just
that makes sense.
Too much.
Red Dead is
especially when I'm like super
like,
compulsive completionist.
It's
like, I'll do a couple of missions. I'll be like, all right, now to spend 4 hours doing some side quests, and then it's like,
yeah, that's the thing.
That's a good swear for
I'm a pretty big completionist too, and it's such a shame that like there are only a handful of things, be it TV shows or games, like that I've started and not finished. Well, that's a lie. There's a lot of games I've started and not finished, but that's. Yeah, but like I'm thinking Death Stranding. Started, didn't finish. You Season 2 started, never finished.
Oh, dude, that You is the best show on TV. My God,
Season
I love
2
that so
is
much.
hot garbage. I will stand by that forever.
No, I mean once I like something, I can't fault it. Like I love the first one so much, and I don't think I love everything about it.
Welcome to the Past TV Show podcast.
Yeah,
I'm your host, Ben.
Well, it's still a Past Play. It's just a Past Play TV podcast.
The Past Play button on Netflix.
Yeah, no, You is legitimately like one of my favorite shows ever.
My issue with You, I don't know why we're talking about this.
You came up with it.
My issue with You comes from the fact
when you said You Season
like,
2 was crap.
It's absolutely like you can tell that it is a made-for-TV show because they'll do like the ad break sort of stingers. I hate that. I hate that. Like,
yeah, I guess, but that just comes with the territory.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, Cyberpunk. Yeah, I'm keen. Next game.
Well, you were listing them but you used Cyberpunk also wasn't on my list because it technically comes out this year.
Yeah.
But to be fair, that's fair. Yeah, I've still got 7 games that I could choose from here on my list before I start. So, have you got any more? Or
I mean, I'm looking at the store now. Outriders is.
I didn't have that either.
Outriders is kind of like.
I will say I've seen that. That's the one with the picture of like it's really purple in the background.
Yeah,
right?
it's like Gears of War meets Mass Effect. It's made by
I am excited for that.
Square Enix, and People Can Fly, who did Gears of War, or Judgment. Did they just do Judgment?
Yeah.
Yeah, comes out 2nd February. That's all I've got. That's all I.
Okay, I will rush through my 7 because
Yeah,
some of them aren't
there's
that
probably stuff
interesting.
here that I will care about. But we'll see.
I went to the Wikipedia page of every game coming out in 2021 and scrolled and picked the names that I remember, was interested in. Rainbow Six Quarantine. I'm cautiously optimistic only because it's Rainbow Six.
It's not coming
Siege.
out next year, bro.
It's listed
It was
for
meant to
this-
come
for
out
next year.
this year. I'm pretty sure.
Exactly.
They haven't
Surely
had
it'll
it.
come out this
You know
year.
that first trailer they did? That's the only thing they've done. They haven't had anything
know.
since.
Look, it's on my list. It's supposed to be coming out. This is one that I want to be excited for because the first one was so good, but I never played it. So, and that is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. The first one's supposed to be really
me?
good.
What?
Do you not know about Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines?
Is it on Xbox? Is this vampire spelled
probably
with
not.
a Y? Oh, okay.
No,
no.
that's Vampire. But no, it's just the first one came out in 2004.
I don't know if I've ever heard of it.
It's apparently really good. I've
Vampire
seen a
the
little bit of
Masquerade
it. But
Countries of New... wait. Coteries?
no, that's like it's the Vampire the Masquerade is a whole thing, right? It's basically the idea is there's vampires that live in real life sort of thing, and the first one was like an RPG type thing where you got to choose your race of vampire, and there was some cool
What?
stuff. The main thing I remember about it, and you would go out into society, and then you'd try and get people, to drink from or whatever.
Wait, what did you
But
say
the
this one's
one-
called?
Vampire the Masquerade's Bloodlines 2.
Oh, okay.
But there's also
I'm
4
looking at
Vampire the Masquerade games coming out next year.
Vampire the Masquerade Shadows of New York, which is a
That's
visual novel.
interactive fiction type thing. Yeah. That's not But Vampire the Masquerade's a thing. But in this first one, the one thing I remember the most about it was when you created your character, there was all these normal races of vampires that had they had different buffs and stuff. And then there was the Nosferatu vampires who literally looked like Nosferatu all the time. So you literally couldn't go outside. You had to live in the sewers and just wander and only come out
What
at
a
night and
life.
stuff.
Imagine.
So it completely changed the game with just a character choice. You
Yeah.
could be you do a normal playthrough and then you'd be now let's do a Nosferatu playthrough. But apparently it was really good. I don't know if you can even play it anywhere. I think it might have been. I don't even know if it was what it was on.
It's on PC.
But it's supposedly really good. So I'm sort of excited for that.
Okay.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We love Ratchet and Clank.
Yep.
I don't know if we'll love this as much as we would love the originals because we already mentioned that the remake was a bit
It's
pared down in our Ratchet and Clank
Here's
episode.
the thing. I think the remake was suffered because it tried to tie into the movie, kind of. Whereas this one, to the best of my knowledge, is its own thing. So yeah.
Another one that I don't know if it's going to be good or not, but I'm interested because I never played it originally. Is the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time
I'm
remake?
just looking at that now. From what I've seen of it thus far, it looks ugly as hell and does not deserve to be called a remake. Also,
Okay.
who asked for this?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know
have
who
seen
asked
some of
for
that.
this.
But Prince of Persia is something that I never played that's supposed to be good, so it's on my list. I'm not sure if it's coming out next year. I actually don't have it on this list, but there's a tiny indie game, well, not tiny, but an indie game called 12 Minutes, which is a time loop thing.
Yeah,
I love everything about time loop
somewhere.
things, as you'll find out when I talk about Quantum Break or a lot in that stream that I did that I will do at time of recording.
Whoa, that's some time loopy stuff.
Yeah, there's some time loops.
I had a list of. Anyway, yeah.
So 12 minutes looks really good. 12-minute time loop. It's sort of artsy top-down deal. I'm excited for that. So
Is that the one with Willem Dafoe?
Yes, I think vaguely. I think it has something with him in it.
Let me have a look. 12 minutes game. Oh, it's Annapurna Interactive. God, I love Annapurna.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the, yeah, I had it confused with, what's that PlayStation one they're doing? Something Shot? Bloodshot? Or
I don't know. I do have another time loop game on my list. Is that what you're thinking of?
what's it called? Deathloop? That's
Deathloop?
the one I'm thinking of, yeah.
Deathloop is made by Arcane, Like, it's just Dishonored people.
Okay, yeah.
It's a bit weird, Deathloop. It's also on my list. And it's sort of like you have to, like, kill, I think, like, it's X number of people in one night, but you get loops every time. So I think it's like... But there's also, like, another assassin trying to fight you, and I think they might be another player or something
that's
sometimes.
the vibe I was getting.
And so I'm not sure if it's like... It's like that thing that you were talking about, sort of like Enter the Gungeon, where, like, you get reset back to the start, and you have to find a way to get better every time.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I think about it right now. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got 3 left.
Mm-hmm.
One that I don't think you will know much about is Little Nightmares 2.
I've seen Little Nightmares 1. I honestly thought this game was out already. So, yeah. Okay.
You know, maybe it is. Is that on me?
I'm gonna...
Well, you can delete this video. Do you want to go to the store while I talk about it?
All right.
So... this Wikipedia page that I was on had games that had already come out, and I don't know if I checked this one. I checked most of them to make sure they hadn't already come out. Yeah, I mean, the first one, it's sort of, it's an indie thing. It's sort of very emotionally, it's weird.
$10 right now, the complete edition.
Well, for 2.
No, the first one. I don't think 2 was out. I think you're good.
Okay, I was right. Okay, good. Or maybe I didn't check it then. Yeah, it's, like, you're like a little girl, and it's sort of weirdly detached, I guess, but it's also quite emotional and strange and artsy. It's worth checking out, the original one.
Is it on Game Pass?
I don't know, you just told me it was $10. It might be.
Yeah, the complete edition is $10.
Game Pass.
It comes with...
okay. So...
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I've got 2 more.
Would you sell me on Little Nightmares real quick?
Well, I sort of talked about it slightly. As I said, you're like a little girl. There's, like, weird monsters after you. It's very... Like I said, the girl's name is just Six, and I don't think that's even, like, officially anywhere. Like, it's not written anywhere. You basically are a tiny person against all these, like, giant fat people, and they try to murder you, basically, in different ways. It's sort of a stealth puzzle type game where you go into an area and you've got to escape or, like, trick the person that's there to try and get out, and sort of they try and hunt you down and kill you and that sort of thing.
Oh. Let me read you a review from a person that just discovered DLC exists. Okay, so 1 star, cash-hungry devs / pay-to-continue story. I had purchased this game well before it had first released, and it was just about 6, as in the character, I presume. Now I'm expected to pay for the continuation of the story? What an effing load of S. Maybe give those who backed your game from the start the extra content they deserve, because they didn't jump on the bandwagon after it got released and hyped up, instead of dropping the game, and then a while later drop a complete edition for almost the exact same price. Welcome to the real world, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I don't think it's a real continuation of the story. Like, it's a DLC. Like, what do you want?
People are stupid. All right, yeah, okay, I bought it.
You bought it? Okay,
yes.
Well, there you go.
All right.
So I should get into sales.
Yeah.
I got 2 more. One of them is the Lord of the Rings Gollum, which I'm excited by just because it's the Lord of the Rings. I'm not excited, but I'm interested in it.
The art style on this, hold on, I have this picture in my head that I'm
confused how they're going to make a game just about Gollum.
First-person shooter. Lord of the Rings. No, if you look up Lord of the Rings Gollum, it just comes up with the Gollum. Oh, yeah, he's so ugly. Oh, he's so ugly, dude. Yeah, okay.
I mean, just because it's got Lord of the Rings in it.
Yeah.
Is my reason to do that. Oh yeah, I was just looking up. There's one other game that I didn't put on my list because it actually is coming out in 2022, and that is Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. I'm excited for that, but that's not till next year.
The Batman one come out? Or are you going to talk about it now?
What's that?
Gotham Knights. Are you talking about that now?
Yeah, that was my last one. That's my last one.
I figured Suicide Squad was there.
Gotham Knights, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Suicide Squad was it's 2022, but Gotham Knights is supposed to be coming out this next year. I mean, it's just more Arkham, right? This is Rocksteady, right? Or is the other one Rocksteady? No, this is WB.
Because Rocksteady's doing the actual Arkhamverse one. Suicide Squad is set in the same game as Arkham, whereas this is as Gotham Knights is like a spin-off.
Montreal,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is the Origins people.
Yeah.
And Suicide Squad's Rocksteady. Yes. Okay. I'm excited about this. You know, it's just going to be more Arkham, but with Robin and Batgirl and whoever else is in it. Red Hood is in it, isn't he? I think.
Robin, Batgirl, Nightwing. They got the four.
So this isn't set in the Arkham universe at all. Well, I mean, Batgirl's obviously.
No.
It only, we can't be because Batgirl's.
They all look the same
obviously,
as they do, except Batgirl's not handicapped anymore.
Yeah, well, the thing is that because of the way, I don't want to spoil too much, but the Red Hood's only introduced in Arkham Knight, and Barbara's already experienced the Killing Joke by then, so they can't line up in the same universe.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, I think it's like a spin-off-y thing. They're like, oh, we got all these characters and people will buy the game, so what are we doing with them?
Yeah, look, I'm excited.
That's the thing. It's like I want to be excited, but knowing it has nothing to do with the other Arkham games.
It's multiplayer too, right? Isn't it?
Yes.
But it's only two-person, I think?
Yes, I think so.
Which is weird. Because there's 4 of them.
Yeah, but the thing about
or 3 of them or something.
Making something like that... I get it. It depends. What's the game where, like... Oh, it's Gears. Where, like, if you have a set amount of people you have to have in multiplayer, then it's like...
Yeah.
You know.
No, I think this one isn't like that. I think it's just you can have a second drop-in sort of area, I think.
Yeah.
What else was I going to say? Oh, speaking of the Red Hood, this is just a bonus mention for our next episode.
We've gone
There's a weird part where you play as Joker and he's wearing the Red Hood in Arkham Origins.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with that.
We'll get to that. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, weird mention. I think that's it. Right? Unless you have something else you were about to say.
No, I don't. Yeah. I think...
And I mean, by that's it, I mean, this was not an exhaustive list. This was just me scrolling through a list of names.
The only,
the ones that I
game I genuinely care about really is Cyberpunk. And that doesn't even come out next year.
Yes, yeah.
I'd imagine more games will be announced.
Of course.
You know, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah.
I mean, some of these that I've said are on my, will play at launch, and some are, will probably play them. I'm sort of interested. You know, there's a mix. So, yeah. But those are the main ones, I think, based on name alone. I'm sure there's other games that'll come out that I'll be like, hey, I want to play that.
Yeah.
But I can't identify them by their name. There's also another game, actually, that I'm sort of interested in, which is, I think it's called Call of the Something, or Call of the Sea, or something. Is that it? And you play as a woman, and you're on an island or something, and you're looking for your husband, and it's first person, and it's a bit cartoony looking, I think.
I might have heard
something
of it.
like that.
I might have heard of it,
I think that's coming out next year. I'm sort of interested in that. It's sort of a single-player, sort of psychological puzzle type thing, I think.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'm interested by it.
I think that's all I've got.
Yeah, I think that's all we're going to do. So, yeah, we are going to wrap up here, I think.
Yeah, we had our best games this year. We had best other games we played this year, and we had games we're looking forward to. So the recording is running at an hour and a half, but we're going to cut.
Stop for a while.
Yeah, we're going to cut a bit of it
and let it run.
But yeah.
Yeah, so this is a shorter thing, just sort of a bonus for Christmas, you know.
Yeah.
Busy time.
This was gonna be our wrap up for the year. But obviously, you know, it isn't. So when we get so Arkham Origins will be our actual Christmas episode, which will release on
it'll be the 20-something, I think, or the
20th. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll come out on the 20th. And then after that,
may have a question episode depending on your schedule. Basically, like
I know. Yeah.
actually have a job, like a proper job.
Yeah,
I sort of have
so this is
more free time than you.
This is the most remote recording we've ever done. We're on an Xbox party chat together. I'm recording on my phone in Sydney. You're back at
hopefully
home.
your audio sounds pretty good. It should be right, but we'll work on getting the new normal, I guess.
Yeah. So if audio's kind of dodgy, we'll fix it eventually.
So yeah, we'll have Origins if we have time. If you have time, we might have a bonus one on Cyberpunk. Sometime this month, we might have a question one if we get enough questions. I'll put out a call for questions. But if you want to send questions, you can send them to just DM us anywhere. On Facebook or,
Twitter,
or
Insta.
Yeah. Just send us a private message, and we'll add that to the pool of questions. And if we get enough that it's worth doing an episode, we'll do a question episode at the end of the year.
If not,
otherwise we might tack it onto somewhere.
Yeah, if not,
if there's a few questions.
I'll come up with questions and pretend I'm the audience.
Okay.
Wow, you guys are so good. How did you get this good? And I'll be like,
why do you think you don't have 1 million subscribers when you're clearly the best thing ever made?
Yeah, thank you, audience.
Thanks for asking.
No. So, oh no, I hit my mic. That's fine.
That was a weird sound.
Yeah, I hit my Xbox mic with a bottle cap, so maybe the recording won't pick that up.
That's fine. Probably won't.
But yeah, that's our episode.
Yep. All right. Well,
thanks.
This has been the Past Play Gaming Podcast Christmas special or whatever. Let us know if you actually liked this or not. I mean, we are sort of doing it just because we're a little bit behind on scheduling, and
I mean, it still runs.
I think it's worth doing
an hour plus, so it's
it still runs a long. It's just like we didn't have to play a full game to do this, which is good. Let us know if you actually liked this, and we'll, maybe if you didn't like it, and we're in a better spot next year, maybe we won't do it. But I think it's a good idea to do every year. Review the year, what's happened, what hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Actually, quickly, obviously we didn't talk about it at all, but the most important thing that happened this year was the new consoles came out. But that's not really game related.
Yep. And that beats out
just so you know that we actually do know that they
bushfires
came out
in January.
Yeah, well,
and then COVID.
In this podcast, the most important thing in this gaming podcast that happened this year.
There was the US election, but the consoles came out. That's probably important.
Yeah, the consoles came out. That completely overshadowed COVID, clearly. Have you seen the US? They don't care about COVID at all. They only care about consoles.
The US doesn't... If you're listening from the US, I'm sorry, but, whatever. Fix yourselves.
Yeah. Well, yeah. soz. I mean, obviously, there are people in the US that do care, but not a high enough group. Anyway, I'm not trying to get political about this, so let's move on. I was literally in the middle of wrapping up.
I didn't.
And I just
I didn't rate anything. You know what? I'll rate this podcast episode 7 out of 8 games played this year.
You won't even give us a 8? Come on.
No.
Okay.
No.
I'll put that on the homepage. Rated 7 out of 8 by its own host.
Not an alright episode, but not our best.
This has been the Past Play, as I said already. I'd already started my outro. Yeah. This has been the Past Play Gaming Christmas special. I've been Matthew.
I've been Ben.
And we'll talk to you again in 2 weeks' time.
See you then. Bye.